is Giorgio Orsoni, Major of the city of Venice. I pericoli che affronta la città sono di vario tipo. Sono I pericoli derivanti.
The risks that Venice are facing are two different kinds. One comes from the nature and are related to the flooding which can occur in the city. It's due to global problems, the sea level rise which are at global level, and the subsidence of soil which occur at local level. And other hazards are connected to the use of the city, and one of these is connected to the high tourist presence. Presently, we do in our city there are around 22 million of presence night spent per year that can put in peril some of the architecture.
Le misure che sono state.
The structural measures that are being implemented are many. The most known one is the mobile barrier gates on the inlets in the lagoon, the world famous MOSE project, which will be completed at the end of 2014, which is around 5 billion euro. This money comes from directly and is managed directly by the government, in agreement with the city. For 100 years after the construction of these tidal barriers, the Venice will be safe from flooding. This kind of intervention is actually made by the government because Venice is a national interest for Italy, and because this kind of intervention needs a lot of economic resources. There are other structural measures implemented under the responsibility of the municipality, like the pavement raising. We do have in several parts of the municipality budget money, which is related also to implement, for instance, fire protection in the historical buildings. And there is something less than 1 million euro given directly to civil protection. But civil protection is just the response to the emergency. It does not include the structural measures. The major mean that is provided by the city to the citizens for raising awareness is an early warning system that is run by the municipality. So it is quite a sophisticated system which is able to provide a reliable forecast, updated 3 times per day, of the level of the water. And this relies on a wide networks of sensors and use of mathematical models. The citizens are always informed by different means, via website, via SMS. In the case of emergency, we have a siren systems which are all around the city, which give this acoustic alarm with different tones, and everybody knows exactly how to act depending on the level of the emergency. Venice is also, and the municipality of Venice is supporting a wide number of volunteer corps for civil protection. So normal citizens that organize themselves to react to the emergencies, and we have around 900 people, 900 persons which are involved in this volunteer corps. One of these, which is related to the role model, is specifically devoted to the cultural heritage assets protections. And we had recently a fire in an important church of Venice, and the intervention of this voluntary corps together with the fire brigade allowed not only that the fire was blocked, but also in doing this to use some precautions in order to save cultural assets.
Venezia è una città così particolare.
Venice of course, is living a very peculiar situation, being a city on the water. So we can give some advices, especially to those cities which have a similar kind of pressures, depending, being a city inside the lagoon, but also close to the sea. Some coastal cities can have similar problems, but specifically in now with the climate change and the sea level rise.
Però la situazione è abbastanza diversa perché Londra.
Big cities like London is subjected due to the climate change to the sea level rise. Of course, in the case of London, this is which have provided some barriers which can be considered similar in some sense to what we are doing in Venice, the barrier on the Thames that were built several years ago from now. But the situation is also different because the flooding can occur only in one part of the city, while in Venice all of the city are subjected to this kind of risk. What we developed in the years that can be really exported is the technique that we use in the city for reinforcement, reinforce the basement and the structure of the buildings for this attack from water, from salt water. So the protection of the building subjected to this kind of pressures of water is something that can be exported clearly. So and also for other technique how to defend the city while minimizing the environmental impact. So coping with both landscape, environment, architecture, culture, heritage. This is something that we have experienced yet in our long history and something that we are able to explore.
Tonaci, cementi, eccetera, che sono molto all'avanguardia